talk to me, brother.
I want to hear about the school shooter helpline.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, man, like, what's wrong with these school shooters? How do we stop it?
They're all white.
They're all white.
That's the problem.
But, and, you know, all teenage boys. So what if the problem is they just need to get laid?
Okay.
Oh, you're saying they haven't gotten milked? So that's the incel.
problem.
You're
That's
doing you're saying they're like the future
But-
incels.
How many of them were virgins, though? How many
Oh.
do you...
I mean, this is without knowing, 100% of them.
So, okay, hear me out on this one.
Okay.
We set up, we don't, because you can't tell
Glory
people.
holes in like high school bathrooms.
No.
I'm
We
gonna
call
do it.
a
So
school
I
shooter.
gotta do it.
We make a school shooter helpline. So, like, you call up, it's like kids' help phone.
When they
type
have
thing.
questions like which ammo should I use, what kind of suppression to tricks and tips to get in and through security.
I didn't even think about
So are
that.
we helping them shoot, or are we helping
Well,
them like what are we helping
'cause
them with?
Hear me out on this. I didn't even think about like kind of doing a setup because I was like, it's like you call them and be like, oh man, I'm thinking of shooting up the school.
But like I don't know, should I
They're
answer
like,
through the
let me
rear?
keep-
Should I go through the front?
let
Like
me-
do I
and
go
then
the
you're-
kindergartners first, or do I take out the older guys because they give more of a resistance first? You know, I'd go straight
Well,
for that
and you-
grade 12 male
Yeah,
gym
but-
class. They'd be getting mowed down first.
Yeah, and then you've
And
got
then-
someone on the other line who's experienced. He's like, well, he'd be an idiot not to go through the side of the school. Like,
Well, okay, you guys just throw my idea off because
Sorry.
my idea was the FBI would just like send in a fucking helicopter full of prostitutes, and it's like you pick, kid.
What? Why
you
does-
pick? You get him laid, and he'll be like, "Ah, but do you know what? It's not that big of a deal. I don't need to shoot
Listen,
up the school anymore."
the listeners at this point.
So
have
what?
caught
People
on
always
to
call
the-
me.
They've caught on to the fact that you guys, all of your ideas involve prostitutes. As to some, we're talking about preventing school shooters now with the FBI flying in prostitutes.
Whoa. Sorry.
Think about-
Sorry. They're not prostitutes because theoretically these girls, they couldn't be over the age of 18 if the unsub is under the age of 18.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they
you're
no,
flying in minors.
but no,
It's
we're not
Stacy.
flagging anyone. But what I will say
Oh, no,
is,
we're not doing
what
that.
I will say is, a lot of places do have a community service requirement to graduate from high school. So there are some
you're
of the
getting the dummies.
No, not necessarily dummies, but the people who have left it last minute, and they really need that credit. You know what I mean?
Or even it's like the FBI. They're like people they're recruiting from high
What?
school. They're
Wait.
like, hey, Becky, it'll
Hey.
look good on your resume.
Wait,
Hey,
this
do
is
you want to go to
look-
Quantico or Quantico?
This is the conversation, by the way, that the vet talking to Becky. Hey, Becky, how's it going? So do you need your community hours? Yes. Only other question. Have you ever been in a helicopter? That's it. That's
Well,
one and two.
Well, no, and guess what? If she says no, he's like, yes, because it's kind of cool. It's a
Yeah.
selling point.
Well,
Hey,
well, we got you.
yes, well, you have to blow this dude who's clearly a loser. Yes, but will
We're gonna
you get
take
a
you a ride
helicopter
around the
ride?
school.
Yeah.
But think about that. Like none of those kids would want to do it after that. Like I feel like if they got like
It's just a taste.
Here,
one night of attention,
So-
that would be enough for them to be like, oh man, like
I don't claim to be an expert in this field.
I feel like every
but I
school
think
shooter's
that-
mom is fat, by the
well-
way. Just saying.
Well, here we can get into the dynamics into that, but I
we
all I'm
need
gonna
a
say-
very like specific set of
Hold on.
statistics on school shooters that the FBI just isn't willing to
Again,
release.
I'll do the
I'm
legwork.
pretty sure that what you've just proposed may incentivize people.
That's why.
No,
that's-
it incentivizes them to come forward. It doesn't incentivize them to pull trick,
Yeah,
which
but
is
then you're
really,
gonna
we've
have-
actually saved.
You're gonna have Donnie, who has no ambition. He's just he
He's
finds the
racking
help.
up- he's racking up kills.
Finds the line on the bathroom stall, and he calls him
That's
up.
where
He
it
goes, "I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's a
I'm polishing my rifle right now.
it's raining today,
Oh,
so
yeah?
I'll check the skies tomorrow."
you want to spit on it? Like,
You know what? I'm
well,
s-
that's you'd have to. It would be hard because it's like the teacher would have to just like be like, okay, Jeremy doesn't look so hot. Like he looks like he might shoot up the school, so he gives them the business card with the number on it. But they don't because like if they're putting
she's
this
like, I
out
was
online,
reading Jeremy's I'm taught him in creative writing. I was reading his work, and I think I'd like to make an anonymous tip. I think we need to get a chopper here.
guy-
Stat.
this
I think
guy's-
we need pile a bunch of bitches in
Yeah.
that helicopter and fly them over because we
This
need
is-
help.
It's so I have to, man. After my kids read Hamlet, this always happens
every time.
Every time. Let's talk about the dynamics of the shooters then, because there should be more people preaching equality. Why are they always white males?
Which another funny thing.
We're overrepresented.
No, but it's one
Time.
of those. It's what they always say. They say, "Oh, crazy white people shit, hang gliding, jumping out of a plane, shooting up a school is also crazy behavior." So it kind of maps out, you know. Not too many brothers are ziplining through the. You know, it's just not how it works.
I'm like at the point in my life where like I like every now and then I stop and I'm like, oh, fucking white Like,
Oh,
do you find yourself like you just
all the time.
see white people doing white people? Like, I think
One thing white
like,
people
when you
lack
see-
is efficiency. We're just not efficient at things. Other ethnicities are either smarter and found a quicker way, or they're just physically faster. It's
Yeah.
one or the other. You
Yeah.
know, they were
Some of
built
them
to
are
move.
both.
Yeah, some of them are built to move, and they actually came up with a better way to do it. We're just
Everyone's got a stereotype. What's ours? Is it just shooting up schools?
no, like I said, in hang gliding.
That's not a
hunting.
stereotype.
It's
Yes,
just-
it
Hunting
is.
is. Yeah.
yeah, hunting,
Fishing.
but like it's also
Yeah,
just
fishing.
like
Hockey.
yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
dumb things like white people do
Oh.
when you see like just white people getting worked up over weird things
Oh,
out in
yeah.
public. Like
Do you notice that it's always, for the most part, like white people that get crazy worked up over like government and politics?
oh yeah,
Oh,
like
that's a
yeah,
trigger.
because a lot of the other people are just saying, "Hey, they
Doesn't-
let us in. We gotta,
doesn't
we
even
gotta show
affect
face a
you.
little bit."
yeah, you don't see like immigrants kind of standing on the corner telling people their political views. Like
No.
they're much more reserved about that.
But
Whereas
a lot
I find
in
white
a lot of
people-
places, it's not political views; it's religious views.
yeah.
For some reason, over here, we're the only ones who like conflated it. We're like, no, you see, all the white god lovers made all the rules, and so it's kind of
Yeah.
Okay, that gets me a good question though. What's the deal on the word wigger?
I think we can use it. We
We can just us, and like, is it one of those things? Do you avoid the hard R?
wigga. I think if it's in a song, then they can use it with the
I feel
soft
like
A.
I don't
Okay.
think you could. Isn't it the same like
Something with-
derogatory? Like you still can't say that word.
But like, yeah, is it offensive to black people? Are
Probably.
they?
No, I
kinda
think
like,
it's offensive to white
It's
people
kind of
when it's
offensive.
used.
It's
in
probably
like
offensive.
something wigga. No, it's not. I think. Okay, yeah. First of all, if you
Like, I
say
wouldn't use
okay,
it-
if you were to say it like as in to a group of dudes, they would beat the brakes off of you if you just said it.
Is it a swear word?
That's what I'm like. I'm
Like-
like,
It's also not even a good what. Like, why would you? Like,
don't
in
know,
what
but-
context you'd be like, "Sub wiggas"? Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
I always
if
think-
anything, you're also
like-
claiming like because you'd call someone a wigga when you're like soft, like he's a poser almost. So if you're saying that to them, that's then you stepping on you fronting.
I feel like you like I can. What I'm hearing in my head right now is like a fat white guy,
Yeah.
kind of belly hanging out, 5 o'clock shadow all the time.
the hat is
And
got the
just-
weird crooked
yeah.
hat still, like he's in grade 3.
Seeing someone wearing like a white kid, skinny white kid wearing a basketball jersey, and he's like, "You fucking wigger," like I can feel the hate in
Yeah,
what
like
he's
it's-
saying.
if
That's
you-
what I'm
If
hearing
you
in my
can't
head.
say it in a job interview, you just.
I
can't
think
say it.
any
There's
word.
a lot of things you
No,
can't
that's
say.
not true. Like dumb, you can't say that in a job interview. You
Yeah,
can't
you
be like,
can.
"This
Yeah.
is dumb." You can't say
You
that.
can't say that because like
No, I'm
this
saying
is dumb.
You can't
Yeah.
say. You cannot say
My
dumb
own-
in a job interview.
Yeah, you
can't do
could.
it. No, you can't.
Yeah, sometimes when people make bad decisions, some of those dumb mistakes. It's not a big deal. What you need to just do
Yeah.
is work with
See,
them.
he's
It's
making-
an
I didn't look at it at
opportunity.
all.
There's a big difference between like saying fuck and saying fuck you, right? So I think it's the same thing there, right? Which
Yeah.
like when you're saying something is dumb, it's not that bad. But if you're like, my old boss is a real
Yeah,
dummy,
that's not gonna
like
work.
they're gonna be like, yeah, this guy's a dick. Like I don't want him on
Damn
my
it, that's
team.
gonna be me.
Or they're
You
like,
know?
this isn't an interview. This is your review. I'm your boss.
yeah. Let me tell you.
That's funny. Well, yeah, glad we started off. We got that off our chest.
Talked about school shooters.
I think that we're helping solve the problem, one milking at a time. I was gonna say, I wonder if people who they don't pull the trigger on the school shooters, guaranteed that's all the incels, like the incels who eventually like the
What's an
van-
incel? What
like,
is that?
It's like some dude who's just mad because women
They-
don't love him.
Yeah,
So
they
hate
call it
women.
involuntary
They're
celibate.
but really it's not.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're like,
I thought it was
I
like a military.
I wish I wasn't celibate. These bitches just won't come near me. And then it's like, yeah, because you never don't have fucking Twix and Twizzlers in your mouth and fucking crumbs in your beard, you fat fuck.
It'd be an interesting case study to see, like, because most people that shoot up the schools and stuff, when like that's been reported on, it's just like, they find a journal, right? Or like you find drawings or
A
something like that.
manifesto.
They do a lot. No, man, they do.
Manifesto.
Drawings is big. They do a lot of
Yeah,
drawings.
they do. Do you think that it happens just because they got like turned down from a chick? Like that wouldn't push them.
Well,
right?
like
it's
that's
like more.
That's
Not
what always
once.
makes me
It's
wonder
not
about
once.
the Columbine
Well,
kids
you
because it was
definitely
like two of them and they were buddies, right?
they're bold.
So I feel like it's something
Ride
you
or
would
dies.
do when you're like isolated and you don't even have like a friend to talk to. But those guys were like,
Thick as thieves.
Yeah.
And also, you want to talk about white people behavior? Bowling.
Bowling is one of those white people things.
Yeah.
You don't see
It's
any
stupid.
other race.
Same with all the sports that take
Darts.
like not like it's not overly
Darts.
athletic.
Yeah, you're not
Darts,
seeing-
golf, bowling, like
Yeah.
all those ones. You know what I mean? Pickleball.
Golf's a gray area. Golf's a gray area.
Pickleball.
Like-
a lot of whites playing pickleball.
Yeah,
a lot of
of
old
whites.
caucus
Yeah.
playing
Well,
pickleball.
and that's actually probably the perfect thing is like when you would see like you walk by a pickleball place and you see guys like showing off like a $200 racket and you're just like fucking white people.
It's a paddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking white people.
Yeah.
You
Well,
wigger.
hey, Coco was a sponsored pickleball athlete, so he, you know, he,
you got
he
that
was ranked.
sponsorship now?
No, he doesn't
you
have it
did.
anymore. He
Yeah,
did.
you used to.
And then he started losing in tourneys, and then they're just like, we don't want
Listen.
our name attached to this. They got wind of the pod, and we're like, some dicey things. A
they
lot
saw-
of
they-
saw hard R's on those wiggers.
they saw me losing weight. They said you're white. They just smelt trouble.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Fucker's gonna do it.
So, yeah, I would say too one thing about incels and like the guy in Toronto a few years ago, like
That's such a weird
rented the-
word, dude.
It is a weird word.
Yeah, it does
Incels.
sound a little bit
It
like
sounds
terrorist
like
kind of.
missionary. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah,
but it
what-
kind of is because what they're saying, they're kind of they make it like a little militant, scary because like these guys are also think
They
about-
wear a lot of
Hey,
camo pants.
I'm about to say yes. Okay, I'm about to say something that's a little controversial.
Okay.
But all the dudes in high school, also who happen to be white, but all the dudes in high school who were like gung ho about the military and army and stuff. Yeah, check them. Check
Yeah,
the drugs.
check-
I just want to check the drugs.
Those are the guys that need the helicopter.
Yeah, they need a helicopter and a couple of those.
I know someone
ladies.
who like 3 weeks ago quit the Canadian Army. He was like in it.
Boo.
Well, you're gonna like his reason, but anyways, he was in it for like I think since he was in high school. He's been in it for a very long time, and then I guess he said it got too woke for him.
Really, eh?
Yeah, like he said-
that was enough to leave the career.
Yeah, he said. Well, he did something else. I don't want to put him on blast his
Oh,
life,
he
but
probably got
Yeah,
fucking.
we don't
um,
need to know details.
yeah,
like
but
that,
he
He got
basically-
dishonorably,
so he's got a
dishonorably
7-inch
discharged. Like,
cock.
all these people are woke. All I did was say one hard R, and
no, he was
he
saying,
was like protecting Trudeau, and he was jerking off
was-
in the
yeah,
bathroom.
he was
like,
saying stuff like they can't yell at people anymore. Like you're not allowed
I've
to
heard some of
yell.
those because that's the whole like back in the day the whole Marine thing, right? Like that Sergeant Pyle, the
oh, go for pile.
Full Metal Jacket.
Jacket,
Man,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I remember one
yeah.
day we got high and we watched that like 6 times in a row, eh?
I didn't inhale.
get you going. What is that? Like just people doing buds? And
I
stuff?
think more we were just lazy and didn't want to get it. The remote was too far, and we're like, fuck it, let it run again.
No, not we just. I remember specifically watching that scene in Full Metal Jacket where he names all the troops.
It's
and
the
he just,
greatest thing, and
Yeah,
just
it's
rips-
him
Oh.
screaming at people.
Or when they just beat the fuck out of him with the bars of soap in the sleeping bags.
Dude,
That's
how
brutal.
many times that scene's been recreated in like Family Guy, South Park, The
Yeah.
Simpsons, like like so many times.
My childhood.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, Step Brothers. What?
But yeah, no, I think we have a woke army now. We're fucked.
That's what he's saying.
We're
yeah.
fucked.
He was like, I guess when he was like quitting, he was talking to someone about it, and he was like, "Man, if we were actually in a war or something like that, or like we're like getting gunfire, he's like, we're not gonna be, you're not gonna be like shouting orders to someone and then someone being like, oh, like please don't yell at me.
You
The thing-
honestly like you don't want those people on the front lines.
No.
No,
Like if
but that's
It's
all.
all.
you're getting.
But here's the thing. It's also like I feel like the. This is also a horrible thing to say. I feel like the Western world, the way like we see war on TV with guns and
Yeah,
stuff,
that's not true.
we laugh at it. That's not what we actually do. We send in a couple token guys, the woke soldiers. We send they look good in the uniform. It's all classy. We send a couple guys in. The real fight's done with the drones and the button pushing and from my like
I don't know
the
about
only
that.
reason. No. The only reason why. Like, think about it. If anyone were to come over to North America and try some shit, what would be the first move? Are we sending the jets over? Or are we being like, click the button. We're hitting the damn button, and
Like-
that's the thing. The button changed the game. We're like facetiously going over and fighting these wars with machine guns in Afghanistan. You'd see a dude in a gunfight with some guy who's he's wearing like a nothing. He's no armor. He's got a AK-47 with bullets
Yeah.
made out of wood. He's shooting, and somehow it's like, wow, they're giving us a real fight here. Why? Because we wanted to pander to them. Like we can't just blow them up and do whatever. So we would send a few guys. We'd pop a few. Yeah, we lost a few soldiers. Think about how, and this is also ignorant because I don't know, maybe we did lose a lot of people. How many people did we lose in the Iraq war and Afghani war?
It was like
It did it. No, but
it
I
was like $2,000.
but
When
that's
you
what I
really
mean.
Think about how many
I'm not
guys went
saying
over
that.
there.
Hey, God,
yeah,
and again, thank you for your sacrifice. That's not what I'm trying to shit on. But what I am saying is like, I mean, the world wars, we were losing hundreds of thousands. You
Well,
know what
they
I
were-
mean?
But they were fought
World-
differently.
World War One. Did you know the Americans lost? They were only in
Like
the
10
war.
dudes. They did the same thing in World War II.
No, no. World War
Okay.
One. They showed up late, and they were only in the war for 110 days, and they lost over 1,000 guys a day. Think about how
they
how
suck.
wild that is.
They suck.
1,000 guys a day. Well, like they were probably just killing that many
This
too,
is-
right?
This might be the
But they
the
came
most
in,
controversial.
This is weird. Yeah. But World War II is the same shit. It's like, oh no,
I
we're
think
just gonna make all the
they-
weapons and make all the money, and then next thing you know, an attack happens. You're like, fuck it, send them all. They are they are the closer though.
It
They are
was
the fucking.
different.
They are the
Yeah, but
Kobe
listen.
Bryant of armies.
We're talking different battles though, and different soldiers and different enemies as well. Like the Iraqi War, it was very different from the standpoint of even when the States, it wasn't like straight up battle. It was like clearage and holding points and things like that. It's not like
No,
like
it
a
was
bomb to
literally
bomb,
like
you know what I mean?
COD. It was like a COD map. It's
was
like
an
you're in a
insurgency, right?
city.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like so, and that's big. That's a little different than like we're gonna go take Vimy Ridge. Like I know that was us, but you know what I'm saying? It's very different.
yeah, but but you got to remember,
not the beach.
we look at the perspective of we were storming beaches, doing whatever. The people of Europe, they were living that COD map because their
Yeah.
cities were getting taken over.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
in that.
Like-
It's not like it was all fields, brother. Like it was pretty
Yeah, I
intense
know.
shit.
I've seen the pics.
Do you know what?
I mean, I
Like,
wasn't there, but
it's weird. I have a kind of like unpopular opinion about this, but like they always say in World War II that like Hitler took over Europe. I kind of don't see it that way. I think he it's a bad word to use, but I think he united it. Because like you think about it, like think about France and Denmark and like all those countries that got taken over, but like they didn't even really fight back. They were
We
kind of like,
didn't-
you know.
We actually
Wow.
say
I think
taken
they-
over.
yeah, like-
Denmark was not taken over. What we did was we decided to make a choice.
Exactly.
We made a short-term decision that ended up saving a lot of people's lives.
Our European like listeners aren't gonna like this, but like I feel like most of those countries were just like, fuck it, man. It's like it's them or the Russians. Like so, like I feel like there was a lot of that going on, and like more people liked Hitler than
I
we
will
like
say,
to believe.
hey, all the cars and you go to the UK, all you see is like Beamers, Benz, and Volkswagens. So they
they
did
were in
something
on
right.
it, man. They were
They did
in on
something
it.
right.
these are some wild takes.
All right. Okay, let's talk about Winston Churchill's sex addiction.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that either.
No, I don't think he had one, but he was
Yeah.
like,
He was a heavy drinker.
oh, he smoked a cigar and had like a 3-finger scotch with breakfast.
Yeah, isn't he the guy that closed the war?
I heard.
Yeah,
I heard
also a
recently
gangster.
that because he came to America during Prohibition, and because he was a raging alcoholic, so he came with a doctor's note that said he had to drink a bottle of whiskey a day.
Really?
So yeah, when he came
had
here,
to-
so
oh,
like
shit.
to like get around the Prohibition while he was visiting one time.
Really?
Yeah, obviously he was bullshit though. Like
I would have like added a disclaimer to the note and a blowjob.
That's what's fucking crazy. Think about this, right? All the government lockdowns and shutdowns with COVID, everyone went nuts. Imagine they said you can't drink now. Prohibition, people were pissed,
Oh,
but
we're coming back, baby.
there wasn't riots in the streets. I guess there was other things they were rioting over, like a lot of people didn't have rights
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, the drinking, I would have been, honestly, if my wife's like, I want to vote, and it's like, oh, bitch, I want to drink a beer too. And if that vote was on the same day, I'm sorry, but they can't vote and I'm getting my beer. That's just how it goes.
no man, I feel like
Timing is everything.
a bunch of hippie people would just like. I think most people today would be like, oh, like the government would just spin it like in a way to like do it for your neighbors. Do you want to beat your neighbor?
Yeah.
Stop drinking.
I do.
Well, no. Anytime that they do anything like that, it's always for someone else's safety. So
Yeah.
there'll be like some new studies that
Yeah.
you're gonna die.
Yeah, you don't want to murder your
Yeah,
wife,
it's gonna
do
be
you?
something stupid.
Stop
Yeah,
drinking.
Yeah.
So then, like, it'll just like I feel like they know they're on the psychological game now these days
Yeah.
that they could like spin it on us and like, oh fuck, all right.
Well, they
I don't
ain't
think-
getting me.
Well, I don't think they can't do. I hopefully the COVID playbook is done because I already see some stuff on my phone pop up. And it's like get vaccinated.
Well, no, but like COVID's a
They're
thing.
back,
Look,
you know what I mean?
No,
Like-
but look, COVID's a thing. Like it's real.
Yeah,
People
but
will get
no
sick,
one-
but it's not gonna ever get to. Well,
Well, when you
it's
can't
not gonna
leave
ever
your
get
town, like
no,
what it was,
yeah.
like
it's not that. What it is now is like people. Yeah, people.
I remember having a conference with Nicole,
Bo,
and I told
you
her
were,
I was leaving.
You were on at
No,
the beginning.
no,
though. You
no.
were ground zero
No,
with
I
a
was
fucking
not.
hazmat suit.
when
Listen,
no one knew what was
listen.
going on, it was legitimate fear. Like
Yeah,
that's-
of course.
Like,
Nah, not me. I was pissed, bro.
Okay,
I
cool.
was so
fine.
pissed.
Well, listen. This is the thing. Most people just took it as we don't know. Let's err on the side of caution, and that's
Yeah.
it. And then they started to do the whole like you can't leave your city because you're going to kill everyone.
Yeah.
We didn't know. And then it goes from most people, and I'm probably 99% of people don't deny that COVID's a thing. They know COVID's real. It's just the risk factors for different groups.
It's just the certain
That's it.
fat whites. That just
Yeah, those fat whites, whatever it is, and those old people.
Fat whites and Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Candace.
Yeah. Although her shoes were some fat whites, PH.
So, anyways, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't think the whole, I don't think.
Listen,
I don't think the law is going to come in anymore. on
Listen,
that shit.
I wasn't an anti-vaxxer. I wore my mask inside, did what I had to do, kept my distance. But if prohibition happens, I will be the anti-prohibition. Like, I will do it all. I will have the conspiracy theories on Facebook. I will be those assholes. Everyone has a few of them that you see on Facebook where they argue on the public posts. Yeah. Like, they get the diamond beside them. Like, you're a diamond level commenter, aka you're fucking some of the scum of the earth. But cesspool.
They take away Bud Lights, and I am QAnon.
We're back. Dude, they're not going to touch any of that stuff. Anything that makes the population more dumb, they're not going to touch. They're just going to like keep doing it. Like, be dumb, take this, don't take this. We're closed today. You can't go outside. Every other day, you're fine.
Look, I wouldn't mind, like, you want to close certain things on certain days?
Like church?
Yeah, I'm down for it. Like Sundays, they're not allowed to do it.
No, just
take a day off.
Just one Sunday, I want them to close the churches and just don't tell anyone.
No.
All the churches close.
Dude, the old people would riot. They live for it. That's all they got.
Just torch the place.
Buddy,
Could you imagine if that happened the same day that Prohibition started, and then the old sober whites, they met in the middle, gangs of New York style, with all the drunks who just but wait a minute, similar, because the olds, they're not athletic, they've lost it, but now if Prohibition kicked in for a few days, we're detoxing. We're not at our best either. We're shaking.
Just rabid squirrels.
I actually would put money on. They got God on their side.
You know what?
Could you imagine the January 6th though? That would happen if they like just flat out like Prohibition, like buddy, like thousands of guys just converge on the Capitol,
and all the people who are usually so unreliable, people who are usually so unreliable because they're drunk, they're sober. They're gonna show up. It's in their calendar.
Hey, what the fuck? Okay, wait.
Everyone's offering to be the DD.
I recently watched this movie on Netflix, Spotlight. I don't know if you've seen it. They cover the churches, like the whole scandal with pedophilia and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was like
it's an epic flick.
Yeah. Okay, so this kind of confused me. This whole I guess story got exposed of all of this, like the pedophilia in Catholic Church, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think back to like when Bud Light hits. It's like the Bud Light thing happens, and then you have a ton of people who are just like, fuck Bud Light. Something happens, like the Harvey Weinstein thing.
My name is Kid.
Right. The Harvey Weinstein thing, right? They're like, fuck that guy, right? But then the church does this, and whatever you want to say, a couple bad apples, whatever. I get it's religion. But like when that happens, don't you think that would kind of like make people stop going?
Can I tell you as a Catholic?
Yes.
That was nothing new. Like,
what do you
like? James was upset because he went to Catholic school and church, and he felt unpopular because it didn't happen.
Wait, you're saying
he's like, I guess I'm not the chosen one.
Wait, you're saying because like it was just a known thing?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's my point. Is
that's when you're around it, you're just kind of like you tell yourself that there's just some bad apples.
Okay, wait, hold on.
In there,
it's like this. It's like this. If I know alcohol is bad for my liver, my doctor tells me frequently, right? And I know something could happen, but I keep drinking. Eventually, if I go to the doctor and he says your liver's fucked, I'm gonna stop drinking. So it's like
a lot of those guys don't stop drinking.
Fine,
that's like
I have a question.
Example.
When's the last time you talked to Dad?
What?
When's the last time you talked to Dad? That's what happened to him.
Okay, but what? Listen. What I'm saying, I thought you meant like. Anyways, what I'm saying is you can know something, but at the same time not act on it. But then like once it hits, you're like, oh yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like the only difference to like most of the people in the Catholic Church already, it was like, oh, like I didn't realize it was that much. But like,
I didn't realize it was that bad.
But you always kind of knew that. Like, and that was the thing. Like even when I was growing up, I remember like oddly like a priest would come and go real quick, and you like people
literally
would
or
like. No, like into the like community and stuff, and like
into the community, you just fire flames,
just everywhere. But like, and then like with the St. Michael's, is that one like high school in Toronto It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
the sports one,
yeah,
right? Yeah, and like you talk to the older guys, and they all say like everyone who went there got raped. Like
Really?
like back in the day, I don't
And
think
then
it's
they're
like,
they're just lying to each other.
but it's like, but
That's fucking wild.
and then like their whole like you got a lot of stature for going to schools like that, right? And like you just kind of like a lot of those kids just like
Again,
I know.
swept it under the rugs.
Saint.
I know.
Mike.
I know everyone lies. Oh man, this is funny.
Segue of a lifetime.
It is, yeah. Okay, so this is kind of against my original thesis, what we were just saying, but this is like the extent to which I'll try and keep a lie going. I don't know if you guys are the same, but like I'll do whatever I can to not get caught in it, even though I'm probably gonna get caught. So Nick kept telling me to apply for this one job. I hope she doesn't listen to this episode. And I told her I applied, but I didn't. And so now I'm on the hook where, like, I'm
She
doing.
works
You have to
for-
go to you got to go to a fake interview.
I've already started, so I was doing some work today to get prep for it, right? And then now,
Buddy, you might have to get this fake job, and like you might have to start like going to work for.
I'm committed at this point, and so I'm gonna follow through with this. And
Just, like
I'm gonna have an interview next week.
is
front
it
of the
with your
mirror?
current employer?
Huh?
Is it with your current employer?
Yeah, it is. It's
So
just
like that makes it weird in the sense that like, don't you guys both work for the same place? Does she not have access?
No, she won't even talk. It's fine. But so I'll have to like pick a time. I know her schedule where she's like going into the office and be like, "That's when it is. I'm gonna be here doing it because it's virtual, right? I'm gonna be here going away at it." So I'll probably be in like a dress shirt as she goes to see you, sweetie. That'll be me next week. That's the length I'm gonna go through to protect this lie.
Dude, I was talking to a kid like a couple weeks ago, and he got a new job,
Intro.
and he's like telling me about it, and he's like, he like was kind of going on about this like crazy job and how like much pressure it was and everything, and like someone's like, oh yeah, that sounds risky. He's like, it's okay, I got a 5-year contract, so I get paid no matter what, and like I'm just
What?
like, okay.
Sign me up
when
for
you
that.
hear the rest of this, and so I'm like, you have no experience. Like in my head, I'm thinking like this kid has no experience. It's like a crazy high level job. Like, no, they didn't give him. And so I'm like, hey man, that's not how it works. Like even if you have a 5-year contract and that company goes under, like you're fucked. And he's like, no. He's like, it's legit. And so a couple days, like I've
Sounds
just
like in grade 10 in like careers class when they're like, yeah, man, my uncle told me if I do this, I'm gonna make like $85 an hour out of high school, bro.
exactly.
All I had to
exactly.
do was suck his dick.
So a couple days
Thank
later,
God I'm Catholic.
Sorry, go ahead, Jimmy.
a couple days later, like
Kid won't shoot up the
completely
school, though.
unprompted, he brings it up and he's like, yeah, so I checked into it. Like I definitely get the money no matter what. And I'm like,
He's like, just to let you know,
Yeah.
I do get that money. And
Did he
that's-
call a lawyer?
that's-
Did he call the guy? Like, hey, just so you know, if I suck at this, you're still paying me, right? Good.
And it's
Click.
Yeah.
and it's a Gear 5 too.
yeah,
Like I'm
so
there.
I'm telling, and I'm like, hey man, like I think you just don't understand. Like when a company declares bankruptcy, I'm like, whoever's telling you this is either lying to you or like,
This guy signed a longer deal
like-
than Austin Matthews.
yeah. So I'm like, man, like when a company goes bankrupt, like you're fucked. You don't get the money. And he's like, no, it's in a separate account. And then midway through, he goes,
It's in a separate account.
midway through, he goes,
Stop.
He like he changes track completely, and he
This is
goes,
a made-up
I already got
story.
paid. And I'm like, oh, you got your first paycheck? He goes, no, I got paid 5 years up front. He's like, it's super common in this industry. And I'm like,
This guy said, what industry is this guy moving Colombian white?
yeah. And I'm like, okay, you got paid, man. That's good. Like, but like, just like I was like,
Tell me he comes back to you.
Dude,
Just let you know the check was good.
Eh?
It did bounce.
He's got like a sheet of loose leaf with just a number in it. Like,
I've
this
got
is
a
it.
golden
This is the number.
ticket.
So like I like legit said to him, I was like, so you just got a check for $500,000. He's like, yeah. Like he like looked around the room for a second because he like knew like, oh yeah, obviously I didn't get a check for $500,000 without even starting a job.
Did he
You
did
would-
he did
you
one
would
of those
all-
things
you-
when he like answers the question with like what he wants it to be, but without thinking the whole thing through.
Yeah.
And like you know how like
Midway
your
through, you can
firefighter, he's like, so you got it? Yeah, I got it.
They'd all-
And he
hey,
sighs like,
they'd also
got it.
cut that check and it would be for like $200K because they'd tax the fucking shit out of that. And then what? You just don't get paid for the next 5 years? This is crazy.
that
doesn't matter, though,
That's
because-
exactly what he was telling me, and I was just kind of like, okay,
Good thing
like, I'm
meth
done.
is cheap.
yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Like
I need
with
to
this
know
conversation.
what the drop was.
It was like I can't even really explain it because like
He flies helicopters
Yeah, like it was
to schools. He's actually doing a lot of good work.
Yeah.
He's saving a lot of lives. I would pay that guy up front. I'd pay that guy up front
that
actually
guy-
cash.
Yeah, you got to pay him up front. He's
And you got to pay him cash because
Yeah.
you could not have paper trail when you're doing transactions like that.
He would.
you pay
would
him in the Colombian white.
No, but see that guy, same thing, right? You would have to pay those people per salary because you can't set up some sort of like structure where you're incentivizing them to call people to be like, you should shoot up your fucking school, buddy. Rent's a little, it's Deucin. You should shoot the fucking place up.
the one.
Becky's a whore. I can't believe she
Yeah.
did that to you.
Becky's got a
I got-
gambling
yeah.
problem. She's like every week, like just like, oh yeah. Call this line. Call this line. Call this line. Tell them you're gonna shoot up the school.
Okay, so. Okay, minor segue because we're talking about kind of that's like a Dragon's Den idea. Do you guys want to hear my Dragon's Den idea?
Yes.
All right, it's a good one.
That's a
You know
loose
what?
Dragon's Den idea, but okay, go.
I think you guys are gonna like this one. All right. So, how's the housing market today? Fucking wild. That's rhetorical. It's nuts. I found a loophole in the system that no one else is even considering. Okay.
Let's fucking hear it.
Okay. So, you guys know that I know someone who has an appraisal company, and he let me in on some interesting information because we were going through some of these properties, and he goes, "Oh yeah, like remember this house? Yeah, this one, yeah. Oh yeah, remember it sold for like so little?" And I was like, "Oh, like why did it sell for so little?" And he goes, "Oh, I guess there was a huge homicide in the house."
I think I know where we're going.
So hear me out. He said typically if there's like a one homie, right, they'll just like clean the place up, really won't impact the market. But if you have
double?
like a
If it's
double,
a double,
he said if you have a double or like a suicide,
suicide would be the jackpot because of ghosts. I think
Yeah.
it
like
brings the property down dramatically. So
I can't see this being no one thought of this because this seems like it's a
really,
pretty.
I feel like.
I'd love to hear it though, but
Do you know what you would do?
I
with
feel like
that?
there's a lot of companies that already do this right
you,
now.
You buy that up and you rent it out because you don't have to disclose it.
Renting, but yeah,
To
selling
renting
you
it,
would,
but
yeah.
selling you have to tell
And
them.
then you rent it for like the 5 or 10 years till the statute of limitations. Then you're good.
So
And
we
then you can
agree
tell
I'm
them, they're
onto
like, all right, we don't got
something.
to tell them anything.
we agree I'm onto something.
I think
here.
you are. I
Okay.
just think there's
Yeah.
more of a market for it because I feel like it's those companies that this is what they look for. They're like they go in
Yeah.
and they're like, not enough blood on that carpet. Like they don't want to buy. You know.
I literally saw a video the other day of a guy being like, yeah, we buy smelly houses. Like, yeah.
Like weird flex, but okay.
Like houses that people were murdered. And like the whole video was him, like they found a guy dying, like not dead yet, but like on the verge of dying in one of the houses that they bought.
Well, that's an inconvenience too.
Yeah,
Because then
like-
like that's on you.
Because
Clean
now,
up,
yeah,
smell,
Nah, you just-
paperwork.
you
if there
toss
wasn't
off
a
that.
murder in there, like there is now,
Yeah.
right? So like he got fucked on that market value.
Yeah. So, but I do like where you're going.
So
Right.
yeah, finish your idea.
Is there?
I mean, we're getting really to it.
Can we get
which is-
into now for maybe next epi? Could we get into if I don't know if you're going to meet with this gentleman between now and then, but could we talk about what gets us most bang for the buck? Suicide.
no, yeah.
Now, a bloody suicide or a bloody murder. What if I choke? Say a wife
So,
gets choked
I will
out
say-
versus like a Boston stabber type situation.
I'll say
The next Dragon's Den idea though is you go around and you find people, like you set up a helpline and so that they commit suicide. in that
We
house.
can only have so many helplines.
I know. Again, calling you
And then
guys on a helpline is just like it's like, hello, I've just like I've had a
you
really
won't
tough time. Yeah, I've had a
You don't do it.
No. You should have Evan on the other line, but the girl's like, hello, hi, I've had like a really tough time, and then it's just like you hear Evan, and it's like here. Do it. That's it. She's like, hello, and then it's just Evan. And he just smells money, right? Do it.
Quickly.
4-bedroom?
I was just about to say.
3-bedroom.
Quickly, how many bath and do we have a main level or is it a
Wait,
powder room? Because I need to know.
3-bedroom. Do you have any siblings? Sister? She lives alone? She happy? How many? No, I will say this. This one was. It was
Just
It was
sending
the
rat points and-
girlfriend and kids work.
Oh, that's definitely a
So-
discount.
Oh,
then.
it's that house, eh?
Oh shit.
The
We
one
know
that,
it.
yeah,
That
the
one,
one that's
yeah.
been in the news.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
one
Oh,
with no specifics
I think
needed.
I know now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. So it was
In and around, say the
Uh,
line of a town.
Yeah,
La
yeah,
la
yeah.
la la.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, and it
Yeah,
was
the guy,
it
man
was
traveling
it was a
from
steal.
out of province.
It was a steal.
Yeah, that was a pretty horrific story, and because there's kids involved, I think that like makes it a little more fucked
That's
up
even
too.
no, because there's kids
See,
involved.
there
Fucked
it
up.
is. There-
Fucked up. I thought even better deal. That's what I thought about that. We're getting bang for our buck. Bang for our buck appraisal. But we can only do it if it was like a gunshot wound bang. I mean, integrity is a thing with me.
Could you imagine like telling this idea to one of those like YouTube real estate guys? Like what's the one, Grant something or
I don't know. I don't
But
watch
wait,
that
Is he
shit.
the guy
but-
that's like, if you're in this area,
I don't know, man. There's
That
a
one?
ton of like there's a million of them, but like just like telling them this idea, and then like you just see the guy get a fucking boner. Like he's like, this is what I'm talking about,
this is
boys.
the good stuff. I swear, I've had the same guy in my algorithm telling me that it's a good time to buy for the last 4 years. He's like, it's a great time. You should.
It's never a bad time.
yeah.
Is what those guys will tell you.
And he's if you're in the and he basically lists all
It's
the
not even
provinces
his.
in
It's
Canada.
not even his voice. It's clearly like AI'd over. Like,
Yeah.
hello, Toronto.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, speaking of home, we should get into the family drama that we have.
I don't know if it's drama. I think
it's drama.
Okay. Could you set the table, please?
I'm gonna do my best. So, I'm gonna have to make sure.
Can this be said on air?
I'm gonna have to make sure I word this properly.
Keelan's a fucking snake.
So-
Sorry, you go.
Keelan, Keelan, I mean, we all have this issue now where, because our fucking government's terrible, insurance has been jacked up, right? We've always talked about how the biggest scam in the world is insurance providers. My insurance went up by 33% this year. Everyone's insurance is going up. Keelan,
Mine dropped by 25%.
all right, well anyways. So Keelan gets a letter, and I guess they tell him that they don't realize that they're mailing
They don't realize who they're
psychopath.
messing with.
Yeah, like they don't realize that.
Like-
Like he's gonna hold your family hostage.
We're about to get a
He's the
deal
guy-
on a house.
Yeah,
We're about to
literally.
get a deal
Literally.
on a house.
And they basically say, "Sir, we're raising your interest premium for the year. It's this now." Well, Keelan didn't accept that. He wasn't about to spend the extra money that they raised it. So
The extra $8.
whatever it was, he decided he was going to go and try and get a better rate. Okay. Now, he's, I'll say, a problem solver. And what he did was a little outside the box. He had called Jackie the week before, and he had said, "Hey, Jackie, how's it going? Love you, miss you. Oh, by the way, who's your insurance provider?" And she gives the name of the insurance provider.
He's a secondary driver on her policy.
So now what's happened is Jackie gets a letter in the mail. Not a call, not a text. She got a letter. And by the way, it takes a couple days for letters to get mailed out.
Jackie's getting old. She's getting real close. She's about 2 or 3 years from a Nigerian prince email scam.
I know.
Just
seriously.
saying.
Yeah. So anyway, she gets a letter and it says, "This is your new plan that you've updated." So someone updated their plan to a completely new plan to include them on their plan.
Also, how do you do that?
Dude,
I
him
don't know.
and the fiance?
I don't know about that one.
I think we might need to make a call
need
because
to
that
make a call.
does add a
that-
wrinkle. You know what, though? What probably happened is she is probably like on her parents, maybe, and he can't forge that. But what he
Okay,
can forge,
So he called and pretended to be Jackie.
Yeah. And this is,
yeah, he must have done two calls, and he gave his own number, or he gave Gab's number as
Yeah.
Jackie's number, and then had her play, "Hello,
Yeah.
oh yes, I approve my son to be on my insurance." I don't know why I'm doing Jackie dirty like that with that voice, but
That's actually so, like, that's crazy.
and they bought it.
Isn't that like,
Illegal?
well,
Yeah,
this
that's
happened.
fraud.
This happened like 15 years ago. So
Wait, what? Oh, so it definitely wasn't the fiance.
for legality purposes,
Oh, statute of limitations.
they've been engaged for a long fucking time.
And he said he's never cheated.
so that's the family drama at this point. Keelan's rebutted, but
So essentially,
what's
wait,
his
yeah. What
side of
actually?
the
What was the
story?
outcome though? So did
There isn't. This is life now. This is the. What do you mean?
They're
So-
just dealing with it.
This
so
is it,
So
yeah.
he added him.
Wait. Though, is Jackie paying less?
She did.
Allegedly?
Apparently, $15 a month. She got a deal. So that's
Allegedly.
how Keelan's spinning this.
So do you
Allegedly.
know what? I think he's in the right.
we
here.
don't know, but we don't know.
Wait till we get the first statement.
and we
Yeah.
don't know who's at fault, and like things like that. We don't know how it's going to affect in the long run.
You know, like
And-
say
and
Keelan.
the
Yeah. What if he totals his car?
And maybe the
And,
most.
you know,
Jackie boycotting his
Did,
wedding.
yeah. Did he just like? Yeah. Did he just get added on to?
Maybe the most important fact of this whole thing, which makes it hilarious, is that Chris still doesn't know.
And that's gonna be fun.
And that's going to be a good conversation.
Chris, if you're listening, go easy on him.
He has heard the pod before. I don't know
When
if
you're
he listens.
spanking him, make sure you go light.
Yeah.
That's like some junior level behavior right
It's
there.
funny, man.
That's actually hilarious. That's pretty snaky. I like it though.
I've never.
I
'Kay.
respect a good grift and like
Keelan is
just
on a different level.
Sliding into your mother's insurance policy. Like, so does he
Better be
pay,
the only thing you're sliding into your mother. But listen,
does he pay anything then?
probably not. He
You
probably
know,
like
he got a
Jackie
discount,
saves
man.
15, but what really is
He
he
saves 80.
Yeah, he saves 80.
It's like
it's probably
it's
what
like
happened.
sometimes I'll take Nicole's like scene point card when I go to the store to get stuff, and like I'll just go shop and then I'll do the card and it'll be like, you can save $20 on your purchase. It click, and then I just give it back, and I've never told her.
You're a horrible person.
Just taking
I
that.
have I've
easy
actually
money.
won. I went to can't even remember where it was. Whatever, some grocery store that uses optimum points. And she's like, optimum points. I'm like, nah. What does she do? She's got a lanyard and she's like, boop. This bitch off of dude, smart. I was like, that's genius. I'm not even mad. Like, why would I be mad? That'd be a very white person thing to get mad over, by the way. And say, I don't want the points that here's this. Whoa, but I don't want you to have those points.
I'll be back. I'm getting something from
But
my car.
think about it. If you're doing, I don't know what you do in transactions a day that have no points, you're doing
A
it.
ton. Good for her.
No.
That's like a second fucking paycheck.
Yeah.
I love that.
I remember
for
like,
Deb.
I knew when they first came out with that program, I knew someone back in the day, and like apparently they all did it, but they like came down on them. But
She looks like she's got years of seniority. If they fire her, they're paying her out like half the company.
She got like this girl got fired, but what she was doing was buying the like
Gift cards,
gift
and then-
credit
yeah.
cards and shit like that, because they have so many of them there at Loblaws and shit, right?
And not only that, you're an idiot. If you're doing it from one place, go to a different.
now they don't let you buy gift cards with optimum points anymore
sense.
because of that. But
Anyway, I just thought that's you want to talk about a grift.
Yeah.
That's goes back to when I'll never forget when I went to Rogers with Keelan and I walked in and the dude working there was like,
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
no man. Like so he's like, get out. Like he knew I've never
can't
seen
do
anyone
this.
banned from a fucking mobile phone store. It's never been done. I was just and he
I
like
can imagine
the guy
that,
was so broken. It's like you knew that on the way home, like he took the long road home on the last shift.
And the girlfriend calls him,
Oh, and
"How's
he's
the day?"
and he couldn't. And
He
there was
was
a bit
there.
there's a bit of tears, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna be home at 7." And like he lives 15 minutes away, but no, he took the long road. He went by the lake. He sat and parked by the lake and stared off into the distance and thought, "Is tonight the night? Is tonight the night I go in that garage, put that exhaust, put the tube on the exhaust, throw on Leonard Skinner, Freebird, Freebird, give me some Journey, give me something, and just drift away."
That's like Keelan's like his Apple Watch, right? He got it paid, or it was a free watch. I don't know how he did that. And it's supposed to cost him like $10 a month, and they waived that.
No,
too,
because he complained. He
right?
said,
They
"Whoa,
did
they didn't
everything.
tell." Yeah, he
They
just
did,
complains.
and
But
he could have got so much more.
it
just
makes
to get
no
this guy in the
sense.
store.
And like he's one of those like shitty people who I guarantee he's late on paying his bill. Blah blah blah. Here I am, an outstanding customer, and I try to play tough once. I'm like, well, I hate to have to leave and go to the other guys.
then
They're
he
like,
should-
hey, we wish you the best of luck
No,
over there. I'm
it's
"What
like
the
click.
fuck?"
You've already been. That's
Yeah.
it. You're gone. It's like, well, I've been with you
And
for
we will
17
take,
years.
Yeah, we'll take that as you terminated your services.
yeah,
Click.
we'll transfer you over to Bell right
Yeah,
now.
like what the fuck? But he does some things. That one took the cake. When we were golfing in the summer and it was slow and he went in and complained and he's like, wait here. I'm like, I'm not waiting here. I'm leaving. Complaining about slow times. Like he's just so.
The other day, so part of that whole insurance thing is I had to get, like the tags, like put into your windows.
Okay,
They call,
yeah.
the little microchip things. And again, maybe the greatest scam of all time. We don't know. So I'm talking to the guy, and he
I
goes,
don't do that. I don't fucking let them chip my driving.
Well, well,
How's that going to help me? Yeah, but you drive 5
no,
over
no,
the
no.
speed
That's
limit.
not.
You're
what
the
we're
perfect
saying.
person to get chipped.
No, that's not what we're saying. That's for insurance purposes, which most companies do. The tag thing is basically just like there's a bunch of like little GPS things. If your car's ever got stolen, it lowers your interest, right? So I go to this place, Speedy Glass, to get it done, and the guy says, "Speedy Glass, man,
Speedy Glass replace.
fucking jingle." I know.
It's a banger.
So I'm talking to the guy, and it took 5 minutes. It's a $500 thing. Like, it's not cheap. It took 5 minutes, and he goes, "Just let you know, like, you're never going to see them. You won't even know that they're there." And I was like, well, how do I know that they're actually there? And he goes,
Don't look
when your
wrong.
car's stolen, you'll know.
Well, no, he goes, well, we put the tags in, and I was like, well, like, how many is it? He's like, well, it's always random, so you can't tell me how many it is. And I was like, then how do I know like where they were put in? And he goes, well, because you got the sticker right there, the tag sticker. And I was like, yeah, but you could have just put the sticker on. I was joking with him.
Don't Speedy Glasses have like little makeshift shacks inside of Canadian Tire parking lots too?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this isn't even a real shop.
So I was joking with him when I was saying this, and I was like, you could have just put the sticker on, right? And I was kind of laughing.
That's just not good.
And he's like,
He got all defensive.
yeah, he did. He's like, oh, no, sir, it's there. And you do have a pin, and you can activate that pin, and it'll show you where your car is. And then I said, okay, like, how do I activate the pin? And he goes, well, here, we're going to give you this card.
Pulling out all the old white cards.
We're going to give you this card.
We're old and we're white.
Wait,
That's
here's
the
the best
title
part.
of
He's
the
like,
epi.
we're going to give you this card. The card has the pin on it, but you can't activate the pin. It's like, what do you mean I can't activate the pin? Well, sir, the only way you can activate the pin is if your car gets stolen. So I never know.
Also, you're making an investment in
Until it gets stolen, and they're like, "Oh, the bad guys knew where it was."
this is strange.
yeah. Oh, sorry, there's no cell service in Africa. You shouldn't have switched providers.
Bitch.
Like I didn't. They
Click.
switched me. Stupid. So first of all, what happens if someone just kicks out your windshield? $500 gone. Second,
I don't even know where it is,
listen.
guys. I don't know which windshield it is.
Second, it's like betting long term on Speedy Glass.
Oh yeah, it could be a Blockbuster,
right?
Speedy Glass goes out of business.
Speedy
No
Glass,
one can find the
Speedy
car.
Glass, like the new Blockbuster.
Like, what if like Quickie Plexi comes in and just Netflixes
buys
them?
them all over?
Netflixes them, and then you call them. They're like, "Sorry, where?" They ask you, "Oh, we can definitely help you, but where were the chips?" And you're like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
then,
sorry,
right?
you're gonna have to actually
Right?
get our chips.
Yeah, and they're like, "What was your PIN? And did you activate your camp?" Like, but I couldn't
They
activate it.
didn't let me activate
Well,
it.
we can't activate it. It's
Sorry,
your PIN.
sir. Sorry.
It's crazy how many like cars are getting stolen now, and they're like,
Oh, they're just
like you
straight to
said, they're-
Africa.
Yeah, straight to Africa within like 24 hours.
Elise car, R.I.P.
Yeah,
It's in
They're
Ghana.
good. They are good.
It's technology. Like I said, they're not fighting in the trenches. They don't have to hot wire.
Yeah.
They're not fighting
It's
in the trenches.
Like Buddy Evan, I don't even think his Jeep
Locks. It doesn't.
He never locks it, and where he lives in a rough area, and he never locks it.
Maybe-
And I was
hey,
like, dude, why don't you lock it? And I was like, don't people like take your
if
stuff?
it goes stolen, if it gets stolen the next week, you owe them.
Yeah.
You give them $500 and send them to the phone. Maybe they'll give you a discount
Send
for
him the-
referral.
Send him the chip.
Yeah.
We got your card somewhere
Because
over
if
the
his car
Atlantic.
gets stolen, what's cheaper, a $500 chip, or do we need to send a helicopter full of hookers? 'Cause one or the other's gonna happen.
No, but dude, this literally, I swear, once a month he'll be like, my Jeep got broken into again, and I was like, what are they? He's like, it's fine. They always just take the change. And I was like, bro, lock your fucking car. And he's
Dude.
like,
This is a
I
guy who
used-
doesn't wear a shirt. He doesn't wear His thing
Yeah.
is when he's camping or at a cottage or actually even just in general, he doesn't wear shoes because your feet were meant to touch the grass.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's just integrity.
Integrity.
yeah, he's got integrity.
But like I used to live in one of those neighborhoods, and it was like the most frustrating thing because like if you left a toonie in your change,
You talk about CP?
no, not there because like cars didn't get broken into there.
Because people can afford cars
Yeah,
in complex.
but like when I was in Oshawa, like it was like man, like every single night, like your car got like the homeless people were just constantly like opening,
yeah.
like and like
and you're an idiot. You don't
I
forget.
got shoes left in there, like
Yeah.
shoes got stolen, like just they would steal the weird shit, man. When they stole the roll up the rim to wins, I was pissed.
Hey.
I had a stack of donuts there. I was so
Oh,
mad.
Yo, how pissed would you be as a homeless person to break into a car and steal your shoes, Jimmy, only to be like, fuck, the ones I'm wearing are better than these pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
They
what
smell
like,
them.
yeah,
They were just like old shitty shoes. So I was just as surprised. I was like, I was gonna throw them out.
Like, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
You did me a service.
I'll leave a tip.
I was so surprised. Al used to tell me his car was getting broken into, and he was like, "I've had 2 first aid kits stolen," and I was like, "You bought a second first aid kit?" That was the most surprising thing.
Who has a first aid kit in their car?
Yeah, he said he had
Like,
the
if you get in a bad enough accident where you're going to give yourself the sutures, like, you're going to
Yeah.
fucking wrap your wound? Like, is that what's going to happen?
Remember one of like the worst all-time gifts we got from?
Oh,
was it AJ
yeah,
with the candle?
No, that was Mom.
Oh,
It was a
she gave us-
stupid spark, like a road flare and the little triangle thing you put behind your car. So, okay, one day if you break down,
Yeah,
it'll come in
and then-
handy.
And then she gave us a fucking like a long candle. It's like, is this
And
gonna
this was a
save
gift.
my life?
This counted as one of our Christmas presents.
Wild.
Keelan was losing his fucking mind.
man.
He's like, you spent money on this and I didn't get whatever like random item he wanted.
His Christmas stuff too is just the dumbest thing. Like
So he cries at Christmas. He essentially, when he was younger, if he didn't get what he wanted or he knew he wasn't getting what he wanted, he would ruin Christmas for us and tell us what we're getting.
Yeah.
Like, fine then. And like, he was Mom's favorite, so he was always with her when she
Yeah.
bought it. Or also, he was just always like a little bitch. So he was always with her. And this is what he used, just the same way when we'd have a party and he'd be like, "No, I won't tell anybody. Give me $20 and cook me steak dinner." So remember how we'd always have those? We'd have.
I
the
probably
party,
still-
right. And so we'd clean up. We'd have people over Friday, people over Saturday, Sunday. We'd spend all day cleaning up, and then I'd have to cook him a steak dinner, and I'd give him $20. Okay. And this kid was what, fucking 11, 12 at the time, and then it would take. It was like within 3 seconds of my mom getting home, because Jackie was a saint and went away every weekend. What a mom.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
you know what I mean? And within 3 seconds, like, haven't had people over. James was over. Alan was over. Do you know in Pineapple Express when Danny McBride's like, "Just get out the back door. Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me." And he's all tied up. And he's like, they went out the back door. If you leave, you still get them. Go, go, go. The go, go, go part got me every time. And that's what Keelan would do. He'd be like, "Puff, puff, puff." And I'd get
name's Delton.
shit. Yeah. I'd get in shit. So this is this little snake. This little bitch. And with Christmas, he would do the same thing. For our birthdays even. I remember, and he would have been so young because I was probably like 11 at the time. So he would have been 5. And I was getting like a Nike headband and like something for whatever. I know, right? I was a wigger. I was getting whatever, right? And he comes down and starts telling me all my birthday presents because I think my mom wouldn't like give him $2 to go get candy from the store. He was losing his mind. And then Christmas, he will add up our gifts.
Yeah.
So Coco opens something. He's like, "Oh, nice." And Coco asked for the dumbest fucking gifts. So he's opening up a cutting board. Cody, this is
not
just
gonna
what
like
I
my
always
gifts this
wanted.
year.
Just what I always wanted, a cutting
You guys
board.
aren't getting anything?
No, you're not gonna like
Oh.
what I asked for this year.
What is it?
I'm not gonna tell you. but
Slippers?
it's- Yeah,
You
you
get the
just. I know I'm
dumbest
gonna
shit.
get.
You
I'm gonna
guys
get
still
reamed
like
on.
ask for things for your
Oh,
for your mom?
she makes us.
I
It's a whole
never
thing.
give her a list. I say
Yo,
world
but-
peace, but here's the problem with not giving her a list. she ends up
yes,
getting me dumb shit that Keelan just ends up returning,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
he gets double the gifts.
like my jeans.
Yes. Yes,
he
he'll
went in
go
my
if he
closet,
comes over. If he
found-
comes over to our place or one of our places, and he'll go through our closet, and if there's something with a tag on it,
I'll just take
that's
it.
his now.
Yeah. It's
And
still
because he
credit.
has the pictures he took, so he could price match and figure out if all the gifts were
Yeah.
fair. He knows. He's like, "No, that's from Christmas. He hasn't worn that in 8 months. That's mine now."
It's the best when he opens up the gift because he'll open it and his response was the same. He'll be like, "Oh wow, sick. How much was it?"
Yeah, and he's like,
Every
"Oh, because I
time.
saw this for 45." He will return the one shirt for 60 and then go buy it from the place for 45 to save the 15 and then use the 15 store credit on something. Plus he's obviously complaining about the customer service or something to get an additional discount. But yeah, Coco opens his stupid cutting board and Keelan will be like, "Oh, is that a whatever great brand of cutting board?" He's
Cuisinart?
like,
Is that a
"Wow." He's
Cuisinart?
like, "Wow, $40 for the cutting board, Mom? Really? You spent $40 on that?"
Yeah,
And then
he's
like
just-
if at the time, 'cause, gifts you don't really know, he's only opened up like one pair of socks. Like these are like only $5. So every gift is devastating to him, especially because he only wants like one good one at the end. Or, "Mom, I like this." Ooh, he's still what is he like 20? I don't even know how 27, 28. He's still like if he opens up a shirt, he instantly tarp on, tries the shirt on, and he'll be like, "I like it," even if it's the exact one he asked for. Mom's like, "Oh, this is like I went to the site link you gave me and just ordered it," and he'll be like, "Yeah, but like I think it comes down. It's supposed to come down longer. Like it's just."
Supposed to
He
Oh.
basically has like one of those accounting calculators. with
Yeah.
him, like,
Oh,
right
he
by
puts
his
on the
side.
little visor,
Yeah.
and he's just like, the ticker tape is fucking flying. He's a special human.
We we had a meeting this week with our broker, and he basically was like, he's just doing our finances and stuff, and he was like, "What are you guys hoping to get?" And like we just like set a number. And then he had the big calculator. He's like,
Well,
and
there's
then
been
he
no
does this,
suicides
and he
recently,
goes- and
so
he
we
goes,
gotta wait it
"Okay."
out.
She's the best. He's like, "Okay, let's see what we get." Clicks it. the search populates, and he just goes like this. It's just a pause.
That's just been
that was it.
his whole job the past like 3 months, just like letting people down. Like there's been nothing good about his job. He's just like, oh yeah.
He's like, well, before I say anything, here's a hotline you can call. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. You can call this one. Yeah,
You fly on over.
Yeah, that was pretty much the end of it. I just love that his reaction. He's just like, especially after he just types down, okay. And there's so much optimism in the air, right?
Yeah.
And we're excited. And he's like, let's see what we got. And he clicks it. And he's just like, oh, I hate my life.
Well, I think it's a good time to wrap, boys.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure that, again, we are so back. We are so back.
We are back.
We're back. Yeah, life happens. I love you guys.
Hey.
And
And if there's any takeaway from this pod, it's that
don't pull the trigger.
We love the children.
We do love. I'm trying to save children's lives.
Me too.
And inadvertently trying to get some of their dicks sucked.
Hey-o.
Hi-oh.
Talk to me, brother.